everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Booksnaps on the iPad. Now, Booksnap is just a way for students to connect with the text and show their comprehension in a new way. If you look over on the left side of the screen, we have Pick EDU or Pick Kids. It has the little red apple on it. That is a really great app for making book snaps. We use that a lot in my classroom. Today I'm actually going to be showing you on the other side SeeSaw to make book snaps. SeeSaw is great, first of all, because it is a free app. It is also very simple and straightforward. It's really intuitive for the kids to use. It's pretty easy for them to figure out. And so let's go ahead and open up SeeSaw. Now, as this opens, you'll see that I have already logged my app into the Booksnap PD. This is just an example class that I have created for this professional development. Normally, over on the right side where it says sample student, you will see a list of your kids, but today it's just sample students. So above that, you'll see activities. That is where we are going to go. This is one of the great things I love about SeeSaw, is that you can actually assign activities to your students on this app, and it will have the instructions built in for them. So usually when my kids are making book snaps, I am at the teacher table doing guided reading, and I do not have a lot of time to stop and help them through. And so the instructions are right here for them. And there is also the option to record voice instructions so that your kids who may still be learning English or need some extra reading support can have just as much access to these instructions as anyone else. So today we're going to be making a figurative language book snap. So I have my book here with me, and I'm going to be looking for an example of figurative language, and I'm going to be showing what I know about figurative language. So if I look at my instructions, the first thing says tap the add button. So I'll tap that green add button down here. And you'll notice my instructions went away. But I can at any point go ahead and tap on this light blue bar up at the top, and my instructions will come back. So if I go ahead and look at the rest of my instructions, it says I need to take a photo of page 4, and then I need to add a caption giving the title and author of the book. I always stress to my students how important it is to be giving credit to any source that you're using, and so we're going to give credit to the author today. And so I'm going to go ahead and close out of my instructions and take that photo. So if I tap the photo button, my camera will open up. And this will take a little bit of practice with your kids. It's really important to let them practice this to just get the one page. I don't want to zoom way out here and be getting both pages. I don't want to have my iPad turned the wrong way. So I'm just going to get one page in my picture. And it's sideways when I'm done taking it. So I'm going to go ahead and click rotate and turn it until it's facing the right way. Okay, so then my instructions said give credit to the author. In my caption tool, I'm going to go ahead and type page from, and this is from A Line in the Sand. It is a great historical fiction book about the Texas Revolution. And we love reading this in 4th grade when we're learning about Texas history. And it's written by Sherry Garland. All right, so I've given credit to my author, and it'll put it down there so that it's not really blocking anything on my page. And now the fun stuff can start. So if I go back to my instructions, I see that I need to use the drawing tool to circle my figurative language. I need to use the label tool to show what type of figurative language it is and give a definition in my words of that type of figurative language, and then use the microphone to explain what the author is trying to show when using this figurative language. So I'm going to open my draw tool. Now over here I see the little 3 bars. I can click that, and I usually have my kids use the skinniest line because it's not going to cover up too much of the words when they try to circle things. So I'm going to go ahead and use the skinniest line. I can change the color. Now there's not too much room for customization here, which I actually like because we always have those students who could spend half an hour making it look pretty when really what we need to be focusing on is showing our understanding. So I'm going to choose a nice bright color here, and I'm going to find my figurative language. And I think the figurative language on page 4 is this sentence here. It says, the sight almost brought tears to Mama's eyes, and she ran her calloused fingers over the cloth as if it were a silk wedding dress. So I've circled it. I'm going to go ahead and use my label tool to label this. And I know this is a simile, because it uses as to compare the cloth and the wedding dress. So all I do is type in simile, can tap back on the page, and then I can use these sliding bars to make it as big or as small as I want to make it. So I'm just going to put this over here as my label. And then I'm going to keep going. So next it says I need to add my definition. I'm going to use my label tool again, and I'm going to say in a complete sentence, a simile compares two things using like or as. So now I'm starting to show a little bit of what I know about figurative language. So I can just put that definition down here. And then I can go ahead and move on to the next step. And so my next step says that I need to tap the microphone and explain what you think the author is trying to show with this figurative language. So I'll go ahead and tap record over here, and it will count down, and I can start recording my understanding. I chose the sentence, "The sight almost brought tears to Mama's eyes, and she ran her callous fingers over the cloth as if it were a silk wedding dress." I know that this is figurative language. It looks to me like it would be a simile because the author uses the word as to compare the cloth to a wedding dress. It seems to me like the author is trying to say that the wedding dress or that the cloth is just as special or precious to Mama as a wedding dress would be. And so to me it sounds like the cloth that she just got is very important to Mama. Okay, so I've recorded my voice explaining what I know. Now I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and click the check mark up here in the corner. And all that's going to do is add my voice recording onto my Booksnap. This is where I always ask my students to stop and listen to their voice. Can I hear it? Because sometimes we don't hold the iPad close enough when we're recording. And also, did you explain everything that you needed to say to show that you really know figurative language or whatever concept it is that we're practicing that day? So once they listen to it and they like it, they'll go ahead and click the check mark up in the corner. They will find their name and click the check mark one more time. And what this is going to do is upload it to the journal. Now this is where I think that SeeSaw is a really great tool. So it adds it to the journal, and as the teacher I can go in and approve it, or I can not approve it and ask them to edit it or start over. Once I've approved it, the other students in the class and the parents, if they've connected to SeeSaw, can also view and give feedback to this Booksnap, which is really great. It creates a much more authentic audience for the students as they're working, and also gives them great practice giving warm and cool feedback on each other's work, which is a really important skill in 4th grade as we're learning to become writers. The voice recording is also a really great tool if you don't teach 4th grade. Maybe you teach a younger grade, and they may not quite know how to type out what they know yet, but they can do a great job of explaining it with speaking. And so it's just a really great tool, really simple tool, I think, for really good elementary age students. And so that's how you make Booksnaps using SeeSaw on the iPad. I hope that you are able to find a lot of ways to use this in your classroom.